The mission of the Oklahoma Autism Center is to improve the quality of life for children with autism and their families by building capacity of existing programs to provide effective and evidence-based services through a variety of activities.
Early Access is our project that focuses on early identification, so basically making sure that children who may be at risk for autism are able to get the services and the assessment that they need to really ensure their success in the long term. So we do that by working with people who are already providing services for children in early childhood settings and giving them the tools that they need to be able to help those kids.
The assessment team training for autism spectrum disorder, that has been provided through the Arnall Family Foundation. In that role, I lead a team of professionals to help schools know how to assess children with autism spectrum disorder. We've so far trained over 20 teams in how to do this process.
So our goal is to make sure that the awareness is there and the tools to developmentally monitor those children to see when there are potential delays, and then to do screening and getting them on the path to assessment so that they can get those services they need at a young age. Because that can be really crucial to long-term outcomes for children with autism.
This is just another one of those ways that the Oklahoma Autism Center is increasing the capacity of professionals so that we're not just keeping this information to ourselves, we're expanding that knowledge all across our state.
The goal of MESA project is to increase the capacity of the teachers in the schools. A lot of the teachers coming out don't have the training for kids with autism, and so they just don't know what to do. Sometimes they hear the word autism and they get scared and they don't know what to do. You know, we hope to increase their knowledge and their skill level so that they can work with the children that they have in their classroom.
A big piece of what we do is we go out to schools, a lot of rural schools or schools that might have a child with autism who's having some challenging behaviors, and the teachers are struggling knowing, what do I do with this child? And so we come out and we really work with the team, we watch the team, and we problem solve on strategies, we model strategies, we coach teams on just how to understand challenging behaviors and how to put different things in place to prevent challenging behaviors and to really teach children with autism and how to make sure that they're included as much as possible in the regular classrooms. There's no judgment, there's no, oh, well, they're doing it this way here or that way there. It's we're meeting people where they're at within their school, within their district, and we're building on that. So we really collaborate and focus on really meeting teams where they're at and taking them to the next step.
The training provided by Oklahoma Autism has been phenomenal, basically unmatched to anything we could have provided for our teachers, and that's a direct correlation with the success of the students.
The Arnall project is something that we're about to start our third year in. We have focused the last 2 years on really supporting the school system in Alva. We have seen just a complete transition out there, and so it's been wonderful to be a part of that, where the things that we're recommending and approaches are becoming every day for them, and we're seeing Alva start to create these teams that are guided or that are developed for supporting students with autism. And so it's been a really neat experience seeing how we're able to really help that community grow, because it's 2.5, 3 hours from here, and so getting access to providers is hard for them out there. And so through this foundation, we've been able to support those teams and really see a neat development in community and some neat teams being developed out there.
So we've provided the Autism Center for the last year with a Subaru Outback.
With MESA project, we go all over the state. Having the Subaru this year has been great because we've been able to save on the cost of car rental.
It's comfortable for us to drive, it's easy to drive, it holds everything we need, and it's very efficient. So the gas, because we drive a lot, we put a lot of miles on our cars.
So we're going to continue to do that for the year of 2020 and actually donate the Outback to them rather than just making it a loaner.
Early Foundations partners with Sooner Start to provide education for the youngest learners with autism, and we teach them those readiness skills so that when they are eligible for services in the public school system, they are ready. Well, when they get to the public school system, they need to, they're learning more academic skills where we're teaching them how to sit, how to wait, how to communicate their wants and needs.
It's a chance at a better life for my child. I'm really not sure where he would be without the skills that they have taught him. We've gone from a child who was virtually non-expressive and wouldn't respond to his name, and we have a child who will respond to his name 9 times out of 10 now. He's learned so much while he was here. He's learned how to take care of himself. He's learned how to be social. His quality of life is infinitely better because of Early Foundations.
I think Early Foundations made a big difference in Aiden's life. It was wonderful. He started being able to follow directions better, being able to communicate with us better, having such an upbeat personality.
Early intervention is key because the brains are still developing rapidly during that time in their life, and so the deficits, we are able to teach them either a different way or make that connection while the brain is still developing. We are very grateful to the Gaylord Foundation who helps support Early Foundations and the replication projects. And because of that support, we're able to expand the resources in Oklahoma.
So as replication coordinator, I provide support to the coordinators of all of the different replication sites. So outside of that Oklahoma City model site, we have Tulsa, Norman, El Reno, and Shawnee. And so I go to all of those coordinators and make sure that we are providing fidelity in our programming, that the skills that we're teaching the children follow the same sequence that's evidence-based, as well as making sure that we have a good ratio of typically developing peers to our children with autism spectrum disorder. It's a really important piece of our program that makes us very different from others in the community.
I felt like I needed to start this program in Shawnee mainly because I would come back from a program that I had seen when I would go to Early Foundations in Oklahoma City, and I would have parents say to me, I wish that there was a program like that for my kid, or I wish there was a program like that when my kid was little.
Shawnee St. Paul's is one of the collaborative partners at the table for the Early Foundations program here in Shawnee. It is a gift and a blessing to be able to have these children and their families here in this building to support them, to help them grow in their education.
We all know that early intervention is the most effective way for success for our students and our children within the area.
Aiden is now 6 years old. He is at his home school in kindergarten in a general education classroom. I'm kind of scared to think of what it would have been like had we not brought him to Early Foundations.
This program gives them that foundation to be able to go into a general education program and to be able to have those skills that will forever change their educational path.
My son would get stuck a lot, as a lot of kids with ASD do. They get emotional about something and they just can't move forward. He learned the skills to say, hey, I'm very frustrated and this is what I'm frustrated about. Then we could validate that. He learned how to read nonverbals. He learned how to show empathy, how to make eye contact. We're helping him become his best self, that he's confident, that he loves himself. He's still quirky and creative, funny, empathetic. I think more and more kids are growing up with atypical needs, and we need places like Early Foundations and Early Access. We need these resources for our families, and we need these organizations to continue to grow and give us the help that we need.
The Oklahoma Autism Center Foundation supports the center through grant making and fundraising. We do lots of events throughout the year so that we can help them increase their impact. I was board chair before I was executive director, so I've seen this rapidly grow in the last 3 years due to community support. Rather than take the approach of a one-year strategic plan and handling that internally, we decided to go for the next decade. And although that sounds very ambitious and daunting, we employ the help of Ed Long, who helped us get out into the community in a really organized way. So through the community listening sessions and strategy sessions, we gained insight that we would have never been able to do just, sitting around a conference table. I mean, getting out into the community and hearing from our constituents was really powerful. With continued support, we'd be able to screen more children, train more teachers. We would be able to provide more replication sites. Your contributions to our cause and to our mission really do impact lives. The need is great, the prevalence continues to rise, and so we know we have work to do. With your help, we can do that.